everybody, it is Calxiyn and Hunter here, and we are reacting to episode 1 of Centaurworld, and this promises to be very interesting because on the Calxiyn Cares Too Much channel, you guys have asked me to watch it or if I've ever seen it, and I have not, but we actually got a commission to do it, so thank you to the commissioner. If you guys are interested in commissions, you can check out our Ko-fi, and so we have a commission for the first 3 episodes. Also, don't mind me, I'm recovering from God knows what, so anyway.
Tuberculosis, bronchitis, scarlet fever.
But I'm okay, I feel better, I have the wheezing inside of my heart. But Hunter, so let's start with you. What do you think? What do you know? Well, I'm not gonna ask you what you know, because I know you don't know anything, so what do you
not at all,
think?
because we just had a discussion about how I was completely unaware that this existed. I understood that it was an anime, I guess, but it apparently is not.
Yeah, cartoon.
It also released in 2021.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I was busy staying indoors at this time.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I have no recollection of this ever releasing at all.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, it is a musical. It says that it's, TV, what is that, TVY7? So that means it's 7 and up, right?
Appropriate for children.
Yeah,
yes.
7 or up. So, but based on how many people in my comments like it, I'm assuming it's kind of like a Steven Universe type situation where, like, yeah, it's for kids. Even with the Tangled TV show, they were marketing it towards kids, but then the songwriters were writing bangers. And so I'm hoping that that's the case here, because I don't want to, like, it'd be really sad if someone commissioned us and then I was like, this music is garbage and this is shit. I don't think that's gonna happen, though. I think that you guys, know us well enough to know our taste. But I will keep in mind, though, right, that it is for kids. And so it has it doesn't mean that they have an excuse for the songs to be bad, but there is language that is more acceptable to use when you are, working with early childhood education type stuff.
Sure.
Like, things can be simpler. It still needs to have the thematic, relevance of a musical. It still needs to make sense for the song. The song still need to have, a question that gets answered by the end of the song, whatever, right? But I know I'm boring Hunter with my musical theater terminology.
Yeah, you have bronchitis, I have,
sleepy bitch
yeah,
disease.
I guess so.
You're still making a musical, but when you make a musical towards children, I'm not gonna be like, well, that's a very immature word to use. You know what I mean? Like, that's too simple lyrically. So that's kind of where, it's like Sophia the First. The songs still need to have a point, but I understand that they need to be understood by the target demographic. So I hope that I can evaluate with, that in mind of what the goals of the show are versus, me being like, well, why wouldn't they use extrapolating just like Gaston or whatever? But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. It says on a quest to reunite with her trusty rider, a fearless warhorse journeys through a whimsical world full of magic. So she's lost her rider.
Oh, yeah?
This is like reverse Spider Riders. Right, you have Spider and
so.
Rider. This is horse. They are horses. I guess we'll see.
It's just a horse and not a centaur.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe that's why it's Centaurworld, though. They fuse like Voltron. Maybe that's the immediate thing that I've been considering right now.
It's like halfway through a Animorphs cover.
Yeah.
You're like halfway through human and horse.
Yeah, maybe you fuse together. It's like you combine forces. I mean, we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so, as always, this is a time sync reaction. That means you press play when I press play. It's the exact same thing as how we did Has Been Hotel. So let us get into it, and that means you can watch in whatever language you want, which I think is nice for people. So anyway...
We, as always, are going to be listening in Cantonese.
Pressing play. Alright, as always, we have our Netflix done, so make sure that you get that. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh
my god.
Okay.
Yeah, so wait a minute. This show has war. It can't be like that, it's not gonna be like the Teletubbies. There's war in this show.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, wait!
A horse.
Wait! So, does the horse get transported in a magical world? Is that okay, I may have misinterpreted what I had read before. So this war is in the real world, presumably.
Well, I mean, it could still be a fantasy world.
Well, a fantasy world, but we're going into another fantasy world? Okay. Sure.
This horse better have PTSD through the remainder
I think that this
of
horse
the
is gonna get
program.
sentience, is what I'm saying. Like, okay.
That is a very square-looking horse. Okay.
Oh man, this reminds me of Mulan.
Yeah,
like when
it's a little-
the village
it's a little-
is torched. I like this
Also-
girl's design too. I like her little
Yeah.
ponytail.
No.
I like the animation style too. Like, it looks different, but still like, I don't know,
Like that.
familiar. There's something familiar about it.
Oh, horse girl song.
Okay.
I think I was right about the horse with PTSD. He looks very anxious.
Okay. She has a nice
Okay.
voice. This is very... Why does it remind me of the beginning of Shrek? The melody?
Yeah.
No, in a good way.
And-
like, I'm
and
saying
the-
that in a nice,
Like the
it's a
Prince
lullaby.
Charming
Yeah,
scene
yeah,
where
yeah.
he's like running through the... Yeah, I get it. Oh, Apple.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
Oh,
Okay.
Never mind. It won't be okay. It won't be
Oh
alright.
my god.
Those are Oh, okay.
Demons, you
Yeah,
think?
they don't
Okay.
look quite human. I think it's fair to say.
Damn, is everyone else, like, legitimately dead? Like, I know she said her father's dead and her mother's dead, but, like, she has there are no allies?
This feels... I don't know how to describe it. Like, 2000s kind of... I don't know, like that
I don't know.
animation style, like the thicker outlines back when
Mm.
those were more common, before things went to very thin outlines.
Yeah, I think it's nice. Like,
yeah,
it looks unique
it's nice
to
and
me.
like sort of nostalgic in that regard, and it's very well
I
animated.
do wonder if the art style is gonna change when they get isekai'd or whatever's about to...
Or thrown into the Centaur world.
Yeah.
This certainly looks unlike the branding.
Yeah, that we saw.
Yeah. Oh, trying to kill herself, boss.
No, no, she has to jump. Oh, okay.
Or just...
Whee! No, this is what I thought.
I don't
Oh,
think you're
no.
supposed to throw that. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
shit! Oh my god!
That is... That.
Oh, it's a
It's
horseshoe!
a horseshoe.
Oh, we're so smart, guys, for this show made for children.
I'm sure those children couldn't identify a horseshoe. How strong is that woman that you are holding up a
Well,
horse?
It's adrenaline, right?
There's adrenaline,
People
and then
lift
there's
up cars when,
yeah,
you
but
know...
then there's a 16-year-old girl holding up a horse at
Okay,
speed.
okay, wait.
Oh.
Wait! Wait! So whoa! She can't die?
I think she just did.
No!
What? Okay.
No way!
Okay.
Okay, so that's a horse.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty...
What the
Okay.
fuck? This is kinda cool! Oh, what?
That's a...
Oh, wait, the horse is normal. Oh,
That- no,
okay.
that's not-
That is not normal.
That's a giraffe with a giraffe. Okay. Okay.
I thought they were gonna turn into, like, a different kind of horse. This makes me
Oh
a little...
my,
I'm
okay.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, it's a unique design, though. Like, I've never thought about it before, but that makes a lot of sense for how a giraffe would,
I had
look,
the
right?
feeling that the show was going to tee up a dramatic sort of contrast between
Yeah,
its
yeah.
opening and this sequence.
I mean, you can tell even how out of place she looks, right? Because
Yeah. compared to all of the sort of what I said about the thick backgrounds versus the thin
Yeah.
backgrounds. I expected they were going to do the contrast, but this is absurd.
This reminds me of like Adventure Time, some
I
of
was
the
thinking
background.
Adventure Time as well.
What?
The
Okay.
children as I walk down the street. That's an apple. Oh!
Wait, okay. Hold on. I wish I could pause, but this is a time sink. So there are apples, but horses eat apples. So do people eat the sentient apples, or
That's
are there
a good
apples that aren't
question.
sentient? Is it like the circle of life, like the Lion King, where everyone accepts this?
This is... I think they are doing the...
Okay.
I'm made uncomfortable by the
I kind of
presence
love
of
this,
this
though.
man.
This is really funny.
And the background, like, giant...
Oh, so even the bird is Centaur, I guess. If we're gonna use that as a as a word. Centaurified? Let's do that. That's better.
What is the sexy Squidward thing? Okay. This is an exercise of weirdness.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's a cute
that's
design.
wonderful.
I like that.
I'm fond of this one.
Okay, this is the first person that is not being judgmental to us. Ah! I like that. That was a nice little background.
Okay. You know, some people are into that.
I love the anime eyes. I think that... Did she really say all that?
I think there's just like a sassy zebra man. Okay. I feel like they wrote this show by just being, what's the weirdest things our characters could do at any given moment?
Okay, so... This is interesting, because this did not really have a opening number. Like, at the beginning, you know? Oh. Oh, well. What?
We have no sense of... Okay. Oh.
Okay. I guess Centaur and then our world is, like, that makes sense. Oh.
Okay. I like how we're worried about, like, oh, you can't
wait,
use
so
the...
they had war? Okay.
Is she gonna...
Okay.
That's how I get through this life as well.
That is kind of interesting. Like, I feel like that, I don't know. I'm like, when kids understand why this is fun, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving kids enough credit, but...
I guess so.
Because, like, there's some jokes in here that I definitely don't think, like, a 7-year-old would understand. Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But, yeah, that was cute. There were some rhymes that were a little dubious, but what are you gonna rhyme with Centaur? Like, it's rough out here, so I'll accept it.
I don't like how human its hand is.
Okay. I I do
So,
really
are-
love
is
how,
this
like,
warhorse-
normal she looks
Yeah.
compared to the background.
Yeah. Is this warhorse gonna have to teach these deeply strange people how to, like, fight in a war?
I don't know. That's what I'm like, okay, we haven't really established the thesis of the musical yet.
It's stuck in a dome that
Which is
loves
what I'm wondering, but... Or of the show, I should say. Oh, okay, so she knows how to spell. That's interesting.
Okay.
The Hunger Games was exactly like this, so I've heard.
The Hunger Games.
Yeah, because they're in the arena with the dome around them.
This is true. Yes, and there's many anthropomorphic horse creatures.
That part, well...
Are they in the dome to protect themselves?
Probably.
From, like,
I'm assuming that someone probably set up the dome like 1,000 years ago to protect them from the war, and now they're complacent, and now it's like, oh, but we gotta go outside.
That's why
or
everyone's so
something.
goddamn weird. They've
Yeah,
been stuck
they've
in
been
the same place
inbred.
imprisoned for a millennia.
Okay.
Horse. Wait, that's her name? Horse?
Yeah, you named
Not
her
very
horse? That's
creative.
not...
Okay. Not very creative at all. Okay.
Okay.
Giggle cakes? Okay.
Okay.
I feel like there's a joke to be made about, like, edibles, calling them giggle cakes.
Oh my god. Oh boy, are we gonna have another
a song about magic? I will say...
I don't know if I love that, but I'll talk more about that later. Okay, sure. Okay.
That's a hoof. Okay.
All the singers are good. They sound nice. Oh. Okay.
This feels like aggressively twee, where like...
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it reminds me of Schmigadoon, which I know that we
Pardon?
didn't watch together. It
What
was
the
a
hell's
musical.
Schmigadoon?
I'll talk about it more at the end, but it was a musical that was only on Apple TV, and it was these real people accidentally went to Schmigadoon, which is supposed to be like Brigadoon, the musical, and so the real people get trapped in a musical, but we'll talk about it after. We should pay attention.
Okay. What?
Okay, so they all shrunk?
Or created smaller versions of themselves?
Okay.
I will say the voice out of the warhorse is like amusingly like incongruent.
Okay. I love their voice. I think it's funny.
I love how they all have a bag
It
of
reminds me
holding
of
in their
Pinocchio
navel.
from Shrek.
It is very Pinocchio from Shrek.
What? Okay.
Okay, kleptomania?
What do you mean? Oh, well that's nice. I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, but there's 2 seasons of this show.
Yeah,
and by the time you get back... Now I can't unsee the Pinocchio. I do like how cartoony this is, though. I feel like shows have been getting away from that sort of, like, rubber hose, like, you know what I mean? Like, sort of style. That's what it reminds me of, anyway.
It is definitely, like, aggressively weird.
Yeah.
And aggressively twee. Like, they sort of looked at Adventure Time and was like, this is tame, we can do better.
Right. Okay.
Derpleton. Derp? Really? Derp joke? In 2021, I guess?
Okay.
Is this lady like Lotso from Toy Story 3?
She is. She looks a little like
secretly
Lotso.
a dictator? Yeah. Lying to you?
Oh, I see. The reverse psychology. Ah!
Oh, little face. That's cute.
Oh! Uh-oh.
I don't love the noise.
Okay.
I don't know, he seems to be very pleased with himself.
Okay! Well... I like that!
Warhorse.
I mean, I'm curious, but...
It'd be fun if the rider vocalization becomes a kind of returning motif.
Yeah. Oh! Okay, are we gonna... I do wonder if it's like she is like the rider is inside of her heart or something, but... Okay.
I do love the design of the pink one. It is... it's very cute. I do like it.
Okay. This is nice. It's just... I don't know if you needed to say that!
I mean, I guess the gag is that she's kind of, you know, flying by the seat of her pants.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought was coming. This is nice, I think. Oh.
No.
that she needed them, though. Because she has the amulet now, so...
Unless the amulet doesn't work, or it can only be activated by
their magic.
The rider.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, I see what it's saying. She's like, I have the boldness, right? Like, I think that she's
I just need you deeply fucking strange people's
But she doesn't have the boldness, because she's always had her rider, so I think that that's what they're trying to say.
Also, her lines are very crisp, while the Centaur's lines are kind of fuzzy.
Oh, like how they're animated, you mean? Oh, yeah, I see that now.
Which is sort of, I like that.
Okay.
That does not look like a very big dome.
But, like, who set up the dome? She did? I'm assuming that that's the end of our first. Okay.
Wow. That was deeply, deeply strange.
Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I recognize. I think that Kimiko Glenn was in Waitress.
Okay.
The musical. The other names, I'm not sure if I recognize. I'm sure that we'll get everyone's names eventually. Right now, though, okay. Songwriters, I'm not sure who... Oh, okay, so the same person that did the story is writing the music.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Book and music by.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to tell because this was the first episode, so I'm like, okay, well, how much of this is the pilot? Right, like, you know what I mean? But, like, initially, some things that stick out to me, I guess, in terms of, like, the musical theater criticism is like, well, this is a problem I had with Has Been Hotel, too. That you need the opening number to establish what the thesis of the show is.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in a TV show, it's a little different because, like, is this whole episode supposed to encompass one long opening number, right? But, like, the song at the beginning that the rider sings was more of a diegetic, like she was actually singing that.
Yes.
Then the characters come in. Hold on, I'm gonna see if they have a list of the songs and the credits just so we can remember, because I don't remember any of them. I think that it probably gets better as it goes on, though, based on what people have said in my YouTube comments, because people always ask, like, Callie, you should watch Centaurworld, right? So I'm assuming that, like, this must not be, the extent of it. Yeah, basically. Like, that's basically what I'm saying, because if it was, I mean, those songs were cute, but they also weren't that long, right? They were, like, kind of 2-ish minutes. And I've already forgotten them other than the one that we just saw, and then also the one at the beginning that was sung by the girls. Can you look up the wiki maybe for the episode, and then it'll have like all of the songs in it? But yeah, as a musical, I mean, I guess that this is the question though. Are you a musical or are you a kid show that happens to have music? Because that's not the same thing, right? So yeah, I'm also a little concerned that the creator of the show's writing the songs, because there were some things in there that did not rhyme. So we got the Rider's Lullaby. I guess the first one was called Centaurworld when they were explaining how everything is. That one I don't remember. Well, it was only a minute. Okay, well, this might be the problem. It was only a minute and 25 seconds. That's not really a musical number. That's like you're having a good little time. Like,
well,
that's
I mean,
like
it's
a little
also
ditty.
presumably if you're doing like 3 distinct ones in a singular episode, you're gonna pare them down a little.
Well, 4. Okay, so it seems like next episode, or at least the next time we have music, there's a bit more. So yeah, Spells for Days was only 51 seconds. And then we had the Rainbow Road one. So yeah, like, just, it's gonna, like, it depends. Like, do people consider this, because the genre says musical, but there's a difference between a musical that happens to be animated and then an animated show that has music. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because initially I see some problems where it's like, okay, but like, what's the thesis of the show? We already know what like, obviously we know what Horse wants. Well, don't look ahead. We can't see any spoiler. Obviously we know what the Horse wants to get back to her rider. TV shows tend to have, like, theme of the week, right? Mm-hmm. Especially with kid shows, and so it seemed like the theme of the week was go out of your comfort zone, don't be scared, and so that was, like, what the last song was, but I just mean in terms of the overarching, I don't really have a good idea of what the show is about.
I get the feeling that they're not trying to go for overarching themes themes. I think they're trying to go for the experiential quality of it being really, really strange.
Yeah.
Which is almost
But you can only go so far with strange, right? So that's what I'm worried. I'm worried. Because my initial impression was like, oh, maybe what they'll do is that horse needs to figure out who she is without her rider or something. So I kind of expected her to have a little, like, reflection from Mulan be, like, getting trapped into the Centaurworld. But yeah, like, if the songs get longer, again, this could be more of a pilot to establish things, and so they got the budget later. Like, we don't really know anything about the show, but I have, like, a couple concerns in terms of, like, the musical part, because those songs weren't long enough to really do anything other than to be a good time. Now, okay, so here's my other thing that kind of bothers me, and I don't know if you'll agree or not. It's not that I don't like that they're aware that they're singing, but a lot of the time it feels like, oh, well, we need to have an excuse for them to start singing because the audience doesn't just accept characters singing anymore, and it feels a little insincere to, like, point it out every single time.
I don't know.
Maybe
it
works for this show, but it bothers me in other things, and so I just thought that I'd point it out, you know?
I don't think it's because of the insincerity. I think it's because they're just trying to be as weird as humanly possible.
Right.
And it's a little bit weird for people when they're in a musical and they're singing to acknowledge that singing, whether or not it is like, whether or not it's like in a kind of like breaking the fourth wall way, or just in a way that it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess that was kind of a weird way of phrasing it, that you would phrase it if you did have to think of how to...
So you're thinking it's not a cynical thing, but more like to point out
like
the
an intentional,
absurdity.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I
guess that I'll be okay with that then. My problem is more like, ugh, you guys are singing? That's stupid. Like, that's what my problem tends to be more. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's supposed to be more that schmigadoon, like, because the horse was in the real world. In the real world,
and I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, I wish we could watch it, but it's on Apple TV, so I mean, I watched it with my mom already. But yeah, it's basically, oh yeah, so we should probably talk about that because I brought it up. So Schmigadoon is a show on Apple TV, and I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure this couple is going camping and they have relationship problems, and then they accidentally stumble into Schmigadoon, which is supposed to be like Brigadoon, which is a very old golden age musical. And so every episode there's like they're not parodies, they are written very well, but like you can tell like, oh, this is supposed to be Fiddler on the I don't know, I'm just throwing out random shit. This is supposed to be a direct, you can see the through line of like, oh, this is like the song from The Music Man where he's scamming everyone and talking about the devil. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of that because the horse obviously came from the real world and they probably don't sing in the real world, right? Yeah. So I guess that's fine. I guess that's okay. I think that some of the humor in this may be a bit too immature for me. The amount of butts
in the background.
You know, like that feels very Shrek coded a little bit.
Not even Shrek. It's just the degree to which they are trying to be like Adventure Time really had it in the pocket. I'll say, right. And that they were strange and kind of took you off balance, but in an immensely like delightful way, in a way that didn't overstay its welcome, in a way that was generally like pleasant to experience. So this is like it's almost like they made a mostly normal script, and then in their second run of it was like, okay, how about we change every interaction to make it as strange as possible. Yeah. Like, what's a weird thing you can do that you won't expect?
But because this is also the first episode, I'm like, well, what if they were kind of going overboard to give people you know, to kind of sell, like, the idea, so maybe it'll mellow out, but I guess I should have mentioned this. So I never watched SpongeBob as a kid, right?
This is not even approaching SpongeBob.
No, but like, you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
You were just never into, like, zany, wacky, weird...
I never watched, what's it called, Fish Hooks? The one on Disney Channel with the fish, and they all live in the fish tanks. But yeah, like the only thing I can think, I found SpongeBob annoying as a kid. So here's the thing: it's not that I think that this is bad or anything. especially, for our poor commission. I am interested. I'm glad that they gave us the 3-episode test so we can continue to, get into, because the war, that was interesting. I'm like,
yeah,
war!
I mean, it's
we started with war, right? So I'm, interested in whatever the fuck was going on. They clearly had a darker tone at the beginning, and so I kind of feel like as we keep going, we will circle back to that tone. But as a kid, I didn't like SpongeBob because I thought that SpongeBob was annoying, and I didn't like being talked down to. And so as an adult, if I were a kid watching this, I probably wouldn't like it. So it's already kind of gonna be a hard sell for me as an adult, but we'll keep watching it and see. But yeah, do you have anything else to say?
Other than I do think this level of weirdness, although it is it's kind of and it kind of feels like sword swallowing. In which you're like, oh, that's impressive on a technical level, that you're able to fit large swords down your mouth. I can't do that. So you have to give them credit, but it doesn't necessarily mean you find the act of watching someone swallow swords enjoyable.
Right.
You're sort of mostly wigged out by it and sort of confused and find it maybe a little try-hardy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I guess we'll keep giving it a second and third.
But I'm also
chance.
its opening was brilliant, and the hard cut from its opening scene to this was very impressive.
And I like the art style different, the stuff that you noticed. I like how gray horses compared to the other characters. I think that's all. Because of that opening, I am trusting them a little bit more. They seem to understand. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
I don't love it, but they're willing to take such wild swings.
Yeah.
That I'm almost oh, you've impressed me.
Yeah.
More so than you've made me enjoy myself. So I will I will continue to watch just because of that. Because of that intrigue, that curiosity.
But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had fun. Check out I probably should have said this earlier and whatever. We already got paid. It's okay. But check out the Patreon if you want to see early access. I'm sure that probably episodes 2 and 3 are on Patreon, and then it'll release once a week. But thank you to the commissioner again. I hope that we didn't crush your hopes and dreams or anything. But looking at what Hunter was looking at on the wiki, there are songs that get longer, and so I feel that the songs in this case may have had a time constraint problem, a budget problem or something.
It could have also just been the pilot, and oftentimes you're operating
with less
when
in general.
Producing a pilot.
But yeah, so we'll see
yes,
basically.
We will see.
If the songs get longer, that means that there can be more of a point to them, because it's really hard to do promise, progress, and payoff in a 51 set. Sometimes songs are just here to have a little tee-hee, right? But yeah, for a musical, I'm gonna need a little bit more, so we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys have fun, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!